the roundtable discussion. I am Rita Moore of the Washington Post, and I'll be moderating this discussion.
I'm Daryl Livingston of RedState.com.
I'm Kayla Tyler from MSNBC.
I'm Lexi Farrell.
Okay, welcome, and thank you guys all for coming. Let's start with Livingston. What do you think is the major issues that are affecting that the candidates are going through?
I'd say in this election cycle, the number one issue that would motivate voters currently would have to be the economy. In its current state, under President Washington, it's obviously not working. We need a prudent businessman like Mike Lewis to step in and reduce the deficit and move this country in the right direction.
Do you have anything to say, Clara?
I agree with what Ms. Livingston said. I think the economy is a really big issue, and both seem to have really big plans on how to fix it.
Okay. Do you have anything to say? Okay. Well, I just as a note, I always found that, at least in the past, I noticed that whenever there's always an economy downturn, the incumbent always gets blamed, even though most of the problems might not have been the current incumbent. That is just something that I always consider when I view about what is the current issues, especially concerning the economy. This question will be aimed at you, Ms. Clara. What do you think are the candidate's strengths or weaknesses?
I think Lewis's strengths are his improvement. I think he gained back some of the supporters he lost from his stump speech. And I think Washington's strength is his consistency and his dependability.
Okay.
I think Washington definitely knows what he wants. He has great technique. He's targeting certain ideas, but I think that he needs to focus more on the main idea, whereas Lewis focuses on the main ideas that the voters want.
I think it's pretty evident that Mike Lewis isn't the greatest person, public speaker, but I think from a leadership standpoint, I think Mike Lewis is far ahead of President Washington at this point. He really is stead forward in the fact that he'd like to move this country forward and put it in the right direction as the next 4 years takes place. So I think both candidates need to be more confident in their demeanor.
Yes, that is a good point. Okay, Ms. Farrell, what do you think would be some advice for the candidates to do to connect with their voters?
For both of them, I think they should just target a certain group, just to attract more voters. Like I said before, focus on those main issues that people want to hear about.
Okay.
And just to come with present that both of them, they can win this, like eggs and confidence.
Okay.
I'd say at this point they should go for everything and leave it all out on the table, because if you really don't push it forward and try to get as many votes as possible, you're not going to get the whole crowd, and you're not going to get all the votes necessary in order to win this election. So I think they all need to put everything aside and go for everything they can.
Okay. I personally think that they both need to improve their credibility, because both of them are lacking in something. For example, President Washington is currently suffering the repercussions of his latest scandal. Even though he has no personal part in it, that doesn't mean it will not affect him. And I think Lewis needs to definitely show some confidence, because he definitely has very poor speaking skills, but he does have a very good family, so it definitely sympathizes with family people. And I definitely agree that they definitely need to put all out in their final bid. What do we expect of the candidates on the next debate? Ms. Farrell?
I really expect
Ms. Farrell.
them to come out with that confidence. I think Lewis, he can come back if he just, comes prepared and ready to say what he wants to say.
I think being prepared is going to be the key. Whoever comes up and wants it the most.
struggles with actually taking like accusations at each other. So I think if they both start to push forward what policies they'd like to put into place and take advantage of the weaknesses of their opponents, then it'd be an interesting issue.
Yeah, I definitely think that Lewis needs to clear his stance on welfare and abortion in general, because during his last debate, he had to recant a couple things, and it didn't turn out too well, and he produced a bit of a blunder. But hopefully with this debate, he can solidify what his actual stance is concerning those issues. And I think for Washington, he needs to improve his, what he's going to do if he gets reelected in terms of economy and such. Who do you think has the best momentum for the debate?
I think Washington definitely has the best momentum. He's been the most consistent, and he's shown the better candidate throughout this whole campaign.
I think at this point, Governor Lewis has a good chance to really pull forward. He may not be in the spotlight at the current point, but if he continues to work hard and improve, I think he could do vast improvement from the last debate.
I think Lewis definitely can come back if he just comes out ready to fight this.
I think that we should take advantage of the damage that the AARP scandal had done. Because if you take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses, it definitely helps with momentum. But definitely it's still up in the air. Who do you think would be the front runner, and what grounds do you guys think it is? Ms. Solero?
Washington for sure. I think he's the most confident, and he's taken the most leadership, and I think he'll come into the debate ready to.
I think at this point, it's definitely President Washington, but I think Mike Lewis has a great chance to push forward and really exude his confidence in this next debate and possibly become the next president of the United States.
I mean, this one's definitely Washington has to win right now, but Lewis can, like I said, he can come back.
Yes. Yes, I have to agree with both, but it's a bit of a more up in the air because Washington did lose some advantages with this scandal, and Lewis did gain some ground from his stub speech, but I definitely think that both candidates have a possibility. Thank you all for coming to this discussion.
Thank you. All right. Good job. That's tough. Especially trying not to be negative towards your friends.